Hey folks, man, this is Cory, and we're back with another From the Canopy Film Show. Joined as always with my co-host, we got Bobby Blockbuster.
Yo.
And we got Cornelius, aka Evil Corny.
Hey, what's up, people? You know, like a few minutes ago, this podcast wasn't recorded. I remember when there was a movie massacre, things got recorded. You know, actually, I was on the last 3 episodes, but Cory just didn't record me, and that's why I wasn't on the show. Even though I was at
new name, new problems, man.
Yeah, new name, new problems. The movie massacre, we didn't have such problems with like recording and such. So I was in the middle of a thought, and I don't even know, other than complaining about like trying to think about what I was talking about. I don't have anything to say.
We'll get you back up to speed real quick. But we're here to talk about film by news, trailers, and reviews. And let's get into the news, man. So the first story is the fact that the producers of Matrix Resurrections are suing Warner Brothers over the release strategy of the film, saying that the streaming cut into the film's box office receipts, and the film was budgeted at $190 million, which is really high. It made $37.2 million domestically and $109 million internationally. And yeah, it's crazy, man. So they got a really deep loss on that. The producers of this film, I don't know if that film will ever get profitable. You know, maybe 30 years from now, if they sell enough copies, and they stream it enough on TNT or they play it enough. I don't know how you get back from that. But another aspect I was going to get to, they moved the release date up. It was supposed to come out in 2022, and they are so alleging that Warner Brothers moving it up so they can boost sales of HBO Max subscriptions. So I think they really got a good legal case to stand on, in my opinion. But it's hard to say, man, in this climate. You know?
I don't really know what to say about this subject. I'm just kidding. Overall, I think it probably would have made way more money if it didn't go up against Spider-Man, one thing, and if it wasn't also streaming, because that just kept people at home. Overall. And like you might have mentioned, like before we weren't recording, about the Mortal Kombat film. Mm-hmm. I don't think the budget on that film was the same as this film. Yeah. And overall, I just hate that film is getting a sequel to it, because I thought that was the biggest waste of time I've ever spent in my basement.
Yeah, that film is on a good line. It made more money than it cost, but not much more than it cost. And that's interesting when you factor in marketing budgets, and that can be really high too, man. Like, these films got to do more than just double their money back sometimes to become profitable, you know, in the long run. But yeah, I don't know, dude. It's rough out here.
The biggest scope of things when you're talking about something that just probably barely made more money than it was worth making. I always look at the Judge Dredd film, that sequel, you know, Dredd 3D or whatever. Mm-hmm. I think it probably broke even supposedly, but we haven't had a sequel to that one yet at all. And I think that Carl Urban being that character might have had, you know, he might have done a lot with that character, but you know, it's almost like the Spawn movie. I've been seeing stories about making a sequel to that or doing a Mega City 1 series and all that stuff, and you know, nothing's happened on it.
Yeah, it might be a thing with Spawn where we get with Black Adam, where you know it's been years in development, and suddenly, boom, the costume shows up, and Jamie Foxx is like on set. Like, I don't know, I don't know, but yeah,
Sorry,
man. It's interesting times, man. We'll see, dude. We'll see what happens with this lawsuit. I think they got some, you know, good leg to stand on, but also, man, honestly though, that film was so much mixed reviews. I think that also was a factor in, you know, what it did at the box office as well. But
the last two Matrixes were like mixed reviews, and overall, the worst movie I think the Wachowskis made was like Jupiter Ascended. Out of everything they made, and that's still kind of a watchable film. I don't like it like some of the other films, but I don't know.
I've never seen it, man.
Actually,
no.
Let's get into these trailers, man. You know what you got for us, Bobby?
Yeah. So the first one, we got the official trailer for the Lightyear film. that's going to be dropping for us on June 17th. And pretty much it's the origin story of Buzz Lightyear and his adventures to infinity and beyond. We brought the teaser up before, but we actually get, I want to say it's about a 2-minute trailer to kind of give us a real good look of what this film is going to, bring to the table. The animation looks great, looks visually appealing, and I think they're going to do, solid work with the story arc. And the thing of it is that the cast is just, it's stacked. You got Chris Evans playing Buzz Lightyear, Taka Waititi's in it. You get Keke Palmer. You also get James Brolin and Uza Aduba, Crazy Eyes, and Isaiah Whitlock Jr. So I think that I think Pixar is going to hit another home run with this one.
So it looks good. I don't know about you, Cornelius, if you're watching this trailer on your side or you got it up. The one that I'm looking at from Pixar itself, it looks like this thing is a little bit extra wide. The aspect ratio, and that's kind of interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like if you looks like if you go in the theaters, you might have black bars at the top and bottom of your screen, almost getting closer to 70 millimeter. You know what I'm saying? Kind of a look like it looks really wide. this thing that they're showing here right now, and when I blow it up like full screen on my laptop, it's definitely has that super wider aspect. It's not just filling the screen. That's kind of interesting. I don't think Pixar has ever got that wide before.
Hold on 1 second.
Yep.
I thought I saw it earlier.
Yeah, usually when you turn YouTube on, it'll have the volume up at first, so you gotta hit that button. But it does. It looks extra wide though. Like, I'm not making this.
Definitely. No, definitely. I'm seeing what you're saying.
Yeah,
but,
like it's almost like when you watch Hateful Eight. That super wide.
Right.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the. It's not that bullshit like 4.3 ratio, like what his name was doing though.
No,
okay, yeah.
Wide.
This looks like it's gonna almost be panoramic in a way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, I'm definitely on board for that. So the next one we got is a film called Cosmic Dawn, and it's going to drop for us on February 11th, 2022, and it's pretty much based on a woman after a young girl after witnessing the abduction of her mother as a child. This same woman joins a UFO cult known as the Cosmic Dawn, and then she experiences many revelations at the cult's compound, but the leader is not what she seems to be. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So the one thing that stood out to me about this one is it looks real colorful, almost like the same flow that we got from like Mandy. You know what I mean? Like where it's just they're going to hit you heavy with all the colors and be very visually stimulating and things of that nature. But I'm definitely on board for this one. It's directed by Jefferson Monroe. As far as the cast goes, you get Emmanuel Churchoy, Camille Rowe, Phil Granger, Antonia Zegers. I can't recall any films that any of these folks have been in, but nevertheless, the trailer does look good, and I'm definitely going to be locked in on that one on February 11th. The next film that I got is a film called No Exit, and it drops on February 25th.
I feel like that's a name of a film that's already exists. Like it's one of those ambiguous names where it's go fast.
I kept thinking Exit Wounds when I saw the trailer. I'm thinking DMX and Steve Seagal,
kind of thing. But as cliche as the title of this film sounds, it's going to drop for us on February 25th, and the thing of it is that it's during a blizzard, and a stranded during a blizzard and a stranded at a stranded isolated highway rest stop in the mountains, a college student discovers a kidnapped child hidden in a car that belongs to one of the people that is inside of the place where they're stranded at. And conceptually, like, I'm pulled into this. This is it definitely it gives a sense of a siege film, but with extra elements going on. And from what I saw from the trailer, it looks like there's going to be some other dynamics involved as well. So I'm definitely going to be locked in for this one. It's directed by Damian Power, and as far as the cast goes, you get Havana Rose Liu, Dennis Haysbert, Dale Dickey, who I've seen her in quite a few films. Like you won't know her name off break, but once you see her, you'll definitely recognize her. And Danny Ramirez. And I definitely saved the best. Well, pretty much for me, it was of all the trailers that we brought up. This one looks the most interesting to me, at the moment. And it's a film called Asking for It. And it's going to drop for us on March 4th of 2022. And it's based on a victim of a sexual assault that joins an all-female gang that targets violent frat boys and a corrupt police force of human traffickers. But the thing about this one is this cast is stacked. Like, for starters, you get the lead role played by Kiersey Clemens, and then you get Vanessa Hudgens. You also get Demetrius Shipp, Alexandria Shipp, Ezra Miller.
Are they related?
I want to say they are. You know what I'm saying? But their last names are spelled the same and everything.
Yeah.
And then
that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, that's true too.
But the spelling is kind of weird too. It's like an IPP.
Yeah.
So that's kind of making me thinking it might be a little closer.
Get Gabrielle Sidibe, pretty much Precious, aka Precious.
Gabrielle Sidibe.
Yeah, Sidibe. Yeah, there you go.
I think that's
David Patrick. But this one looks really, really cool. Like, I've watched this trailer a couple times this week, and it just, it has me all the way locked in, because I feel like this film is definitely gonna go, up and down some dark avenues, but also, be done in a way that's going to be, entertaining to, the masses. You know what I mean? It definitely has the feel of a strong, like, female.
No. Yeah, I don't think there's two ships actually. I think the way they wrote this thing on here, though, it looks like it's two different ships. But yeah, so it's not. It's only one Alexandria ship, because it says, what did you say, Regina Ship?
No, Alexandria Ship, and then Demetrius Ship Jr.
Demetrius Ship.
The dude who was he played Tupac in the last Tupac movie. Yeah, that's what when I was looking at the pictures there. I was like, they don't, but nevertheless, they both spell their last name.
They both picked, because the thing about a lot of actors, they pick names for their careers, and their real name might be something else. I know Tom Cruise is not Tom Cruise, right? like for example,
I think that's Cruise's middle name. I think.
Yeah, but it's something. Sometimes people's names aren't what they. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not what their professional.
Believe it or not, my name isn't really Evil Corny.
It's not Cornelius. Yeah, my last name isn't really Blockbuster.
Yeah, so Thomas Cruise Mapother.
Is your real name? Is your real name Hollywood Video?
I'm trying to think of another franchise to add on to your joke, but I can't. They all died.
Yeah, they all died.
Oh yeah, arrows. They had arrows down south. That was like more of a regional.
What?
Arrows
video. Y'all didn't have that down there.
We didn't have that here. Is it Bobby Redbox? Is that your real name?
But yeah, man, asking for it, man. I'm definitely I'm on board for this one, man.
It gives me some Assassination Nation vibes to it.
Yeah,
and I really love that film. I think it's going to be pretty interesting.
Oh, I do want to give a shout out to the Rain Corps today, because it's going to be a couple days before you see this video. Shout outs to the Rain Corps, man. Bubba Fett.
Oh, okay.
They did that. Oh man, that was amazing, bro. Woo! I'm still buzzing off of that. Like I watched that at like 4 a.m, dude. I was up. I was like, man, turn this thing on. Might as well.
I was up at 2 in the morning here watching it, and I probably watched it twice because it was just one of those to where I was hyped.
I don't know the background now, dude. I know we talk about film, but that thing was it was so cinematic, that finale. It was hour long, but how much you think they spent on that episode?
I don't know.
I know
Robert Rodriguez directed this one. It was balls out.
He does squeeze a budget, but I feel like this thing had to be like 30 million or up.
Yeah.
And it's worth it. You can see everything on that screen. All right, let's get into
I was real satisfied about it, and I still don't understand why people are hating this series.
They want to write the show. That's what it is. I feel like, but no, you don't get to write it because your version will probably suck.
Just sit back and watch. Watch, enjoy.
It'd be like me trying to write all the movies that I see and trying to make them better. And maybe I think in my head that I can make them better, but they probably won't be better. They might be worse. Well, let's get into these reviews.
Yeah, Corey, you can't even start recording a podcast. How you think you gonna film it?
Yeah, I'm gonna write a movie or show or whatever. But I will say this, man. I
got 5 blank pages in the beginning of the script.
Huh? The what?
I got 5 blank pages in the beginning of the script.
But the movie I got this week was a big opening weekend. I didn't want to see Jackass, to be honest. I feel like I just matured out of it, man. Mm-hmm. So I went and saw Moonfall, which honestly, like they're not much better if you're thinking about just the popcorn, man. It's not a lot of substance to it. So basically, in this story, a man finds out it's kind of like Independence Day, where some just regular dude finds out shit that the scientists can't figure out. But he finds out that the moon has been knocked out of orbit and is actually getting closer to Earth with each pass. And what happens then is we also get a scene with two astronauts in space, which is kind of a flashback. One is played by Halle Berry. And I forgot the other guy's name. I'm gonna look this up real quick. Patrick Wilson, and they're in space together. And whatever is going on with the moon, they encounter this thing, and it messes up their mission. And they go back and tell NASA what they saw, and NASA is covering it up for some strange reason. It definitely messed up their mission, but they've even got footage of this anomaly that they saw in space that wrecked them. And it destroyed both of their careers. Halle Berry, somehow she's still in the NASA, but Patrick Wilson, he's a civilian drinking and doing whatever. But eventually our guy played by John Bradley, who was entertaining, man. He's the guy that discovered, what was going on, contacts Patrick Wilson, and things start to occur as this thing gets closer and closer. And it's who's the director of this? This is a Roland Emmerich film, so you know what he's bringing to the table. 2012, I think he did Day After Tomorrow.
Yeah,
disaster film fair. That's what he does. And this is no different from that. It's preposterous. If you want to break down the science, I know Neil deGrasse Tyson is going to be in this joint, rolling his eyes. He'll probably walk out of it, but it does give you just action, man, and really big spectacle and really just crazy 3D effects. I did think that part was really good. I will say this, dude, like I wasn't bored, even though it's silly and as ridiculous as it was. I think the special effects were enough to keep me entertained. And John Bradley was great playing this guy, because part of it is he has figured out the science, but also he is really crazy conspiracy theory into it too. And it I don't know, it played out. It was entertaining, but it's also one of these things that not much really is going to stick with you after. It's good enough to kill some time, in the theater, or like this would have definitely been one of those great summertime films that drops between the blockbusters, just to kind of give you something to go on that off week, between releases. But they dropped this in February, so I feel like it's harder with it being so cold to get people to be compelled to, go to the theater, because Jackass actually beat it. And, and I feel like if this was summertime, this probably would have beat Jackass, but it's just a testament to, what people are looking for right now. But,
yeah, one of the things about it is Roland Emmerich is kind of against comic book based films. You're not around a comic based book film, and yet your movie isn't making money. So you can't really blame Spider-Man on this one, can you?
He makes the same kind of films, though. He makes really big spectacle, science fiction, special effects driven films. You know what I'm saying? Like honestly, this is an Independence Day type of film. That's
yeah,
what
but
this reminds me
yeah,
of.
but
Right.
majority of his
Independence Day is more fun than this was. But Independence Day has, Independence Day. It's simple for what it was, but it did impact the culture when it dropped. Everyone
does
saw.
anybody say "Welcome to Earth, bitch" in this one?
I can't see the problem with this. I can't remember what was said. It doesn't matter. I do remember some of the stuff that I saw as far as the earth getting destroyed and the way things were blowing up. But everything else doesn't matter. Even you got a heavyweight like Michael Pena in here, and he's just, being used like a little bit. It's just like all right, I want to work, so let me get in this movie. We get Donald Sutherland pops up real quick. And that's it, man. It's not really, it's not really much for him to do.
Michael Pena's real good in the Ant-Man films. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great, but it's but there's no really reason for him to be in here. There's really no reason for Halle Berry to be in here. There's no reason for anyone to be here. The only person that I think where this film actually helped by having them in here was John Bradley as the bumbling scientist. He pretty much plays the Jeff Goldblum role from Independence Day. So, and he did a great job, man. He was my favorite character in this whole thing. But it is what it is, man. See it if you want. If I gotta rate it, I'll do a 2.5 out of 5. It's
Welcome to Earth.
Yeah. If you don't want to press to go to the theater, wait till it's showing on TNT. For the whole weekend. We'll gotta be doing that.
I'll wait till I'm visiting somebody and watch it at their house. if I don't drive on my own. I don't want a money trailer.
So who's next, man?
I'll go. I watched the documentary. It's a 4-part documentary, but it was released at Sundance. At Sundance, yeah, last year or this year. But it's we need to talk about Cosby. It pretty much goes covers just about all of Bill Cosby's professional career, with insight on like some of the what do you want to call it? The rape accusations. Really, they weren't accusations because nobody really came forward, but they kind of document the time when some of these things happened. And you kind of see what the women were, a couple of women are on the documentary were just telling their side of the story. But it is 4 parts, and it's currently on Showtime. I really liked it because it gives you a bit of insight on Bill Cosby's early career from starting stand up to being on I Spy, and it pretty much brings you up to this past summer when he got released from jail on the rape convictions on technicality. W. Kamau Bell directs this, and it's pretty much behind the scenes talking to all the people that's giving insight on what they thought about Bill Cosby, and then what Bill Cosby meant to them up until now. It's kind of difficult. I really like the Cosby Show, and I grew up watching him on shows, and then
I think we all do.
Yeah, definitely.
I like the stand up, but this is
Fat Albert too, man.
Yeah, Fat Albert. But
big Fat Albert.
Picture pages, a lot of stuff, but it's real despicable when you gotta get the big picture of what he was doing and how much of a hypocrite he is.
Yeah.
Overall, it's real messed up.
Yeah, I thought because the format, I did like how they did it. They're showing the highlights of his career, but also as the timeline is going, we're also showing these incidents
where he was,
these women, say that he, did these things to them, and it's crazy because like he's a wild figure. You can't separate the good that he's done for Black America, But at the same time, you've also got this other side of the coin, which is one of the most sinister, foulest things ever, man. It's crazy, man. I will encourage everyone to watch it, though. It is on Showtime right now, all the parts, but it's so well done. But it's also, like I said, it was one of them things where you're just like, wow. And then the thing that blew me out the way was the footage of him just kind of publicly flaunting what he was doing. And at the time, it was almost like only he knew the context of what he was saying, but now
it was a real inside joke. Yeah,
and it adds a really nasty stain.
It's real creepy.
Where it's like, dude, you were flaunting this in our faces for years, and we just didn't know. We just didn't connect those dots because no one really had came out at that time, or you know what I'm saying? It's wild, but it is a really well done documentary. I always harp on that. I love documentaries, but sometimes documentaries can be just dryly told and presented, but this isn't that. It goes fast. Those episodes, it goes.
Yeah, all 4 parts are riveting, and it pretty much covers 4 different times of his life, and really, I guess just about the 4 decades of him being famous, I guess, or a little bit more. Mm-hmm. It's a real interesting watch.
Yeah, definitely.
Good stuff.
She got Bob.
So the first one I'm gonna bring up is a film called Slapface, and it's a Shudder original that just dropped on February 3rd, and it's pretty much it follows this. It's a young boy who's dealing with the loss of his mom. He's raised by his older brother, and in the midst of all that, he like I say, he's dealing with the loss of his mom, and doing that, he starts to develop or create a relationship with a monster that's rumored to live in the woods in the surrounding area. And this film was man, like I was highly impressed with what I got at the end result of all of this. It pretty much initially pulled me in just because of the name, the title, like Slapface.
That's going to turn me away.
Yeah, it did turn me off because
I can see, and that's why I had to check to see exactly what was going on, and pretty much the name of this film is based on this game that this young boy and his older brother play, where they take turns smacking each other in the face, and you have to watch the movie to see.
They should have dug a little deeper on that.
Why they do this game and stuff. But that's what made me click on the trailer, and then ultimately what I got from the trailer then made me intrigued by the film. But what you get from this film it's a quick start. Like, I mean, right when you cut it on, it pulled me right in. And the thing of it is that, like, as good as like the story building was, it was like oversaturated with like these really heavy themes. Like it's focused heavily on like bullying and toxic masculinity, and also alcohol abuse. These things are just floating through this film. All the way through it. And I thought that it was a really unique approach to use these themes in this like supernatural horror thriller aspect, the way that they did. And that was, I appreciated that, what I'm saying, because at the end of the day, these are things that, affect homes and affect a lot of the lives of people and stuff. So I thought that was really cool. But what also stood out to me was like, the acting, the character development. The lead role is played by this dude, August Maturo. My daughter was telling me, I guess he was in some Nickelodeon, was Girl Meets World. It's supposed to be like the spin-off film of Boy Meets World or something like that. But apparently this young actor was in that show, and she brought that to my attention. But I mean, he did his thing. Like he did a great job as the lead. And I also thought that it was really cool, like the creature design. What I'm saying? What you get from this, this monster element, as simple as it was, it was very effective. You know what I mean? And I think that the simplicity behind it is what made it that much more effective. You know what I mean? And also the film, like throughout, like it had this like subtle creepiness through the whole film, like the vibes that you were getting, from beginning to end. It was just like, I was all the way, pulled in. Like I'm there's a lot more that I want to say, but I don't want to, play spoiler, but I feel like, what they did with the character development and, all the elements that are around, even though some of the characters are unlikable, but as you can go back to the themes, I mean, of course some of them are going to be, nobody roots for like bullies or people that are like a-holes on purpose. You know what I mean? It's like, unless you're an a-hole on purpose yourself. You know what I mean? So
one question, Bob.
Yeah.
Is that a ghost or is it a monster?
It's
a monster.
It's pretty much,
or it's a monster.
It's not a ghost. It's not a ghost.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not. It's definitely not a ghost. But yeah, I don't really want to elaborate too much on it. I feel like when you watch the film, it's pretty much like, how like certain small pocket towns have their little like urban legend.
Okay.
Like something like the Blair Witch or something like that. It's kind of follows that credo. Like, I mean, this monster has a theme song, like when they when they're walking through the woods, almost like the same thing with
like
Freddy.
Candyman or Freddy. Okay,
he's coming for you, kind of thing, like that. So it's definitely it's a notable entity that is in this area that this film takes place. And ultimately at the end of the day, like I said, I mean, I was intrigued by the name, but it was a very entertaining watch. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, with a lot of hard-hitting concepts, you know what I'm saying, and the way that it was all put together and everything, I was very pleased with what I got. This was one of the better Shudder films that I've watched over the past few weeks. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely, like, I would put it, I would definitely put it as a high recommendation. And I actually am looking forward to watching it again, because now that I, have rode that ride the first time, I feel like on a second or third viewing, I might be able to pick up on some things that I didn't see the first time around.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Yep.
Oh, what you got, Corny? Because I don't have anything else.
You don't have anything else?
I want to hear. We got Belfast. You gonna talk about that? Belfast.
Yeah, I can talk about it. I was going to talk about Sinister, but I'll wait another week. Belfast is basic. Huh?
Whatever you want, but I am curious about Belfast, because that is on the Best Picture nomination list, ain't it?
Yeah, I only like 2 films on watching everything on that list, by the way. It's a Japanese film called Drive My Car. It's the only one I can't track down. And the film Coda is actually on Apple TV Plus. Those are the only 2 films I lack in that. But Belfast is based in Ireland, actually in Belfast. And it's during the Troubles. And that was pretty much when you had Protestants that were against Catholics. Ireland is mostly Catholic, but you had, they were kind of at war with the Protestants there, and it's semi-autobiographical of the director Kenneth Branagh's life. He was born in Ireland and moved to England as a child, and that's basically what's happened in the story. And the main character's named Buddy. He has a brother, mother, father, has grandparents and everything, and it's the beginning of the Troubles or whatever, where they were doing bombing in this neighborhood and pretty much dividing the row houses and stuff. His dad's living in London, is actually working in London, and coming home every couple of weeks. And he pretty much wants to bring his family out of it because he's having run-ins with some of the Protestants that are a little bit more gang related than he wants to be. It's a real good story. He's a movie fan, and that's kind of how he sees, that's what he kind of does in his pastime. But he's a 10-year-old kid, and just it's kind of coming of age in a way because he has a crush on a girl and everything, and he's just trying to do good in school and everything. But
getting a little like Once Upon a Time in America vibes, kind of, just some of this imagery, that I'm seeing, especially with the younger people in here and the conflicts. So I guess this is, that whole Northern Ireland conflict that was going on.
Yeah, the Troubles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because this is, like I said, it's on the list, man. I'm gonna go through this list real quick. Belfast is on there. Coda, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story. And these are the nominees for Best Picture. And honestly, this wouldn't be my list.
No.
If I'm putting 10 pictures together, like some of these, I feel like they were, but yeah, I don't know.
I think Spider-Man Far From Home. No Way Home got snubbed
on my list. That's on my list.
And also, I think Respect got snubbed on this list.
Yeah, that was a great film, dude.
And Jennifer Hudson actually got snubbed as a nominee.
She didn't get an acting. Oh my God.
No, she didn't get nominated.
Yeah, this was a bad year. Like, I don't think they dug deep enough. And honestly, if I'm looking at this Best Picture list, like, I'm probably, if I got to pull out 3, I'm thinking West Side Story, King Richard, just out of the ones that I've seen, and I don't know, man, maybe Nightmare Alley, and that's just because I haven't seen the rest of them. Like I feel like this list is kind of weak. There's a lot of stuff they left off that I think
the 2 that I would actually, really the 3 I would actually pick out of everything I've seen. I only missed, like I was telling y'all, I only missed like 2 films, Coda and Drive My Car, but I would pick West Side Story, Belfast, and King Richard. But overall, I don't see.
15 was better than this, dude.
So what?
Our top 15 list was better than this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what they're doing, Oscars.
Spider-Man No Way Home is one that I kind of thought that they would have put in there.
Yeah, they pretty much just gave Black Panther that one a few years back, gave him the nomination. Spider-Man definitely should have got one for this year, man.
It just shows that they're really trying to avoid,
Yeah, they don't want to. They don't want to give something that they don't want to give something. I'm surprised Dune made the list. To be honest, dude, and Dune, I didn't like it as much as other people did, but usually they don't care about sci-fi, anything with any kind of like action or fantasy usually gets snubbed. Like it's so that's kind of interesting, man. I don't know. What you got, Bob? What's your last one?
The last one, my last film is a film called
I want to see that. Yeah.
Is a film called Last Survivors. And this one, I'm gonna make this real brief. I don't have a lot of good things to say about this one.
I'm not going to see it.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry to take the air out that balloon. But pretty much, it's set in a perceivably a post-apocalyptic world where a father is raising his son out in the wilderness, and the dad gets like hurt in a way, and he has to send the son off out into the world to get him some medicine. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And upon the son trying to get this medicine, he stumbles across a woman, and he's like, oh, he's never,
Oh yeah, that's what you talked about.
Oh, you
Trailer
talked about
with-
the trailer a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
trailer, yeah. And so when he sees the woman in real life, this is his first, female experience. Even though it's from a distance, he's instantly intrigued, and from that, that feeling that he had, he then, proceeds to try to get to know the woman against his father's wishes. And I give this one I would give him a high five for trying. The concept actually, is what pulled me in the trailer. This is one of those ones where I saw from the trailer, I was like, oh yeah, man, I think it's really going to be interesting. But the thing of it is that this film just it seemed to it almost felt like stuffing a square in a square peg in a circle hole. It didn't seem to hit any key points for me. It was missing marks left and right. And as far as the storytelling or plot buildup, I knew what was going on before I hit the halfway mark. I already had it all figured out and stuff, and it just that made it very uninteresting, which led to the third phase being unclimactic for me.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And this was not this isn't a jab at the acting. I feel like the two dudes, the dad was played by Stephen Moyer, the son was played by Drew Van Acker. Both of them, I mean, they did their due diligence. And the one cool thing about this film was the atmosphere. You got a lot of imagery, the camera angles and them pulling away, and you just see this desolate little cabin in the woods, and they had all this survival stuff going on, and it looked it was very visually appealing. But at the end of the day, where it fell short was just the actual writing and storytelling, and the message that they were trying to portray. But excuse me. See, that's how I know I ain't supposed to talk about this too long. But yeah, man. At the end of the day, there are a lot of post-apocalyptic films that were done way, way, way better than this one, that covered all their bases and gave a higher level of entertainment.
Mhm.
Combat films, but yes, and yeah.
All right. Well, that's it, man. I think I do want to mention what we got coming up. I think this week we got Death on the Nile, which looks kind of cool. It can go either way. We also got Mary Lopez and one of them. What's that dude's name? He one of them brothers.
You broke up real bad again.
Olsen. Jennifer Lopez and the Olsen brother, Marry Me. They got a film.
Owen Wilson.
Yeah, Owen Wilson. And we also got Black Light from Liam Neeson, which looks like every other film he's put out.
That's why I didn't even bring the trailers up, man. I've been seeing them jumps. I'm like, this is taking
doing what Bruce Willis is doing. But to round out the month, we got an interesting bunch of films. We get a Magic Mike. I think that's part 4, maybe. That's coming out on the day before Valentine's Day. It's crazy. It's in theaters February 13th, which is Super Bowl Sunday. We also got Uncharted, which I'm looking forward to. That comes out on the 18th. You get the film Dog, which I see a trailer for every time I go to the theaters now, with Channing Tatum and this dog.
It's like Turner and Hooch.
The First is also coming out. We got another film, Studio 666. And the Batman is less than a month away, dude. Wow.
And also, not for nothing, we get Kimmy dropping on February 10th. That's the
HBO,
Zoe
yeah.
Kravitz joint. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That one looks really good. I would
Yeah.
rather see that than the Studio 666. I think the Studio 666 is just was that like
That looked like
a
was
Foo
that the
Fighters
Foo Fighter
documentary?
dude?
Yeah,
that might
that's a Foo Fighter film.
It's a documentary or is it a film?
No, it's just a film they made.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's just gonna be. I think it's just gonna be real silly. I think it's gonna be real silly.
Mm-hmm. That's good, folks, man. We're gonna wrap this thing up. It's been Cory, aka Monk. You catch me for the Instagram. Follow the podcast at From Canopy on Twitter, and you can follow us on Instagram at From the Canopy, and you can email us FromTheCanopyPod at gmail.com.
It's Bobby Blockbuster. You can catch me on Instagram at Bobby Blockbuster 118.
I'm Cornelius Bros. You can find me on Facebook, Cornelius Bros, on Instagram, Cornelius Bros, on Twitter at Cornelius1976. And at some point, even though I hadn't been on a couple of weeks, I still hadn't done anything on TikTok. But I'm Cornelius1976 on TikTok.
All right, folks.
Corey was actually recording TikToks for me and not posting them. I'm gonna blame him for that.
On the TikToks and not posting them. I don't know. All right, folks, we out of here, man. We're gonna catch y'all next time.